Jake here for Extreme Terrain, and in this video we're taking a look at the Elite Series Sport Style fender flares in smooth black fitting 2016 to 2023 Tacomas. If you're looking to switch up your Tacoma's fender flares for a more aggressive look, the Elite Series Sport Style flares we've got here today are a great way to do it without going overboard on style or on price. Fender flares can be an important component that makes such a difference in the look of your truck. Many Tacomas come from the factory with body-colored fender flares, and while those look clean, maybe you're after a different type of look. Now these are going to bring some contrast to the truck, both in color and in finish. The smooth texture makes these clean and simple, and the black colorway works well with any color because, as we know, black matches with everything. Now these are going to offer a similar amount of coverage as your factory flares, so they're not going to go overboard with size or with style. But they're still going to offer you plenty of protection from rocks and debris, whether you're on the street or out on the trail. You are going to have some extra coverage if you go down the route of larger wheels and tires, but these are going to keep things looking a bit more OEM, and they're going to match well with other OEM accessories and trim pieces. So just generally, they look a little more off-road oriented while still keeping that close to stock appearance. Now these are going to make for a great budget-friendly replacement for stock plastic flares if your truck came so equipped from the factory. We'll talk more about that momentarily. Now this is a full set of flares, I want to make that very clear. Despite the fact that we only have room for 2 of them on the table, you are going to get 4 flares in the box, so rest assured your truck will be fully covered. Now these are made from plastic, which means that they could be painted should you choose to go that route. You could paint them maybe a contrasting color or the same color as the rest of the body of your truck. Makes it a more economical way to replace stock body color fenders. As I already alluded to in those last couple of sentences, these are similar to your OEM flares in their construction, as they are comprised completely of ABS plastic. So that means these are going to be very lightweight and durable. Now they're designed to be a bolt-on replacement for your factory flares, meaning that install is simple as well. We'll talk about that shortly. In the kit, you also get some weather stripping for the back, so that's going to go around the outer edges here where it meets with the body of the truck. So it's going to help keep out moisture and dirt and debris, keep things from getting trapped as much behind the fender flares, which is a nice thing to see included for the price. Speaking of, pricing is going to come in at about $475 for the set, and that's about the average going price of a full set of flares for these trucks. However, it is also significantly more affordable than buying new ones from Toyota directly, so that also makes them a pretty solid buy. So if you like the look, you don't want to spend a ton to change up what your Tacoma looks like out on the road, these are going to be a great way to do it. Installation gets a 1 out of 3 on our difficulty meter and should take you about 2 hours to complete. Now again, these are designed to be a bolt-on part, meaning you aren't going to have to make any modifications to your truck in order to get them fitted. So with that, let's head on out to the shop and we'll show you how to get the job done.
For this install, you'll need a ratchet, 3/8 to 1/4 inch adapter if necessary, a shallow 10mm socket, and angle cutters. What's up guys, today we're going to be installing some new fender flares on our Tacoma, so let's get started. So we're going to start things off by removing our factory flares. Now we have some 10mm bolts along the fender well here that we're going to go ahead and remove with our 10mm socket on our ratchet. So you have 3 on the back side here. You should have 2 up top as well, and then another one up front here. Now our 2 up top aren't with us due to previous modifications and installs. Kind of lost their way, but yours should have that if you have factory flares on. So now that we have all of our hardware out, we can go ahead and pull our factory flare off. And we're just going to grab it by the bottom here and work it out of its slots. Just like so. Do the same thing around the whole flare. Now we have that out. We can go ahead and set our flare aside. So now you'll notice we have these clips on here from our factory flares. You can remove these if you want. The new flares will cover them without interfering with these for demonstration purposes, because ours will go back to factory. We're going to leave these in, but if you do wish to take these out, you can just use a clip removal tool and just pop these right out. They should come out no problem. So now we can go ahead and remove our rear flare, and for that you're going to have 3 bolts down at the back side here, just like your front, and then along the top you should have another couple bolts along here, and then your 3 up front, which you can see we only have 2. Again, previous installs and modifications, we've lost a few over time. But we're gonna grab our 10mm socket on our ratchet and go ahead and get these out so we can remove our flare. Again, you should have your other 2 here. So again, just as with the front, we're gonna go ahead and grab onto our flare here and begin just popping this right off. And again, with our factory tabs, our new flare will not interfere with these, so we're gonna leave those on for demonstration purposes because we're gonna be returning this to stock. But if you wish to pop them out, again, just use a clip removal tool and just pop them right out. So after you've removed both of your flares on this side, you can go ahead and repeat the same process for your other side. So before we're ready to go onto the truck with our new flares, we do have to install this weather strip seal around the top edge of our flares. And this is simply a slotted weather strip that's going to go in the top section here of our flare itself. So we're going to go ahead and get this started. So now a good trick to get this started is to actually take it and kind of open it up like so. And we're going to lay it right onto this edge here in the corner. And once you have it started, you should just be able to push it onto the edge of your flare and work your way around it like so. So once we get to the end of our flare, we're gonna grab our angle cutters and trim off our weather stripping right at the end of our flare. Once we have that trimmed, we'll push the last bit on. Then once you have this complete for this flare, you can go ahead and repeat the same process for your other 3 flares. So now we can begin installing our new flares, and we're gonna start with our rear flare here. So we're gonna get this lined up. And you'll notice we have our slots here for our hardware, and we're just going to reuse our factory hardware for this. So we'll go ahead, get this lined up, and we're going to start up top here and reinstall one of our factory screws just to hold it in place, and then we'll work our way around and get the rest installed. So you may need to squeeze in on the bottom of your flare a bit to get this screw to line up. And once you have that in, we'll go ahead and work our way around. So now we'll get our lower front screw in here because it is most lined up with the hole. And you may need to push in just a little bit to get it perfectly lined up. So now that we have one of our front screws in, we'll get our rear screws in, and then we'll work around for the rest. Now we can go ahead and get one of our rear screws in, and we're going to need to push in and up on our flare to get it lined up with our screw hole. Then we'll go ahead and reinsert our factory 10mm screw. Then we can do the same thing for the rest of our mounting screws. So now that we have our hardware in place, we're going to grab our 10mm socket on our ratchet and tighten these down. So now we're ready to install our new front flare. So we're going to grab our provided clip bracket here. And we're going to slide that into our center slot. Then we're going to reinstall our factory hardware into our clip and get our center in place, and then we can work our way around. So we'll go ahead and get our bolt in place here. And we are going to tighten this down just to hold everything else in place while we get the rest of our hardware in. So now we'll grab our 10 mil socket on our ratchet and tighten this bolt down. So now we'll go ahead and get our factory hardware back into place in our front mounting point here. And that's going to be our upper slotted hole there. So we'll get that in place. We'll tighten that down, and then we're going to install a provided U-clip at the bottom here. We'll go ahead and, again, with our 10 mil socket, tighten this down. So now we'll grab our provided U-clip. We'll go ahead and get that over our flare to our fender here. Just like that. Now we'll go ahead and get our 3 rear mounting screws in place. Then we can go ahead and tighten these down. So now after you've got this process complete for this side of the vehicle, you can go ahead and repeat these same steps for the other side. Alrighty guys, that about wraps up our review and install of our Elite Series sports style fender flares front and rear in smooth black finish for your 16 current Tacoma. Thanks for watching, and as always, for everything Tacoma, keep it right here at ExtremeTerrain.com.